If we sort of fast forward to the early stages of your career, are there some moments that stick out with working with athletes that were particularly challenging at that point, or that really forced you to push yourself outside of that initial comfort zone that we have when we have our training and some of the philosophies we want to lay down, but then that reality of the real world practice, presents roadblocks in itself, right?
Yeah, that's a cool question. No one's ever asked me that before. What happened early on for me was that right after my graduate training, I needed a job. And so action sports, they weren't hiring. It's a little bit off access, backcountry. So I found myself in pro sport. It was stick and ball. And so
You're back.
yeah, I'm back. And I didn't quite get it at that time. And they didn't quite, it just wasn't a great fit. So I left after about 5 years pro sport and went. Red Bull fired up a high performance program. I was fortunate enough to kind of find a spot in that emerging discipline of sports science inside of action sports. And it was great. It was super electric. It was awesome. And so to answer your question, there was a project I worked on called Red Bull Stratos. And so Felix Baumgartner was the athlete. The team built a capsule, and this was a aerospace engineered, project.
Yeah.
And they built a capsule, took them up to 130,000 feet, which is up there, and it's 100,000 feet higher than an airliner. And it's kind of the curvature of space. It's right about where you would shoot off to zero gravity into outer space and kind of be out of orbit. That's when I had a moment where I was like, I had to take that leap from science, using good science, grounded, well-tested laboratory science, and then bridge it into an environment that has not been tested in the environment that we were working in. So that bridge there's a leap that happens in there. And that's what would keep me up at night, which is taking good grounded science. One, to get your arms around that's a full lift in and of itself. Yeah. And then to have enough reference points and contextual understanding. And those are two, like contextual understanding and reference points are two different dynamic requirements to do good applied science. Mm-hmm. And to have those in place with a little bit of intuition to say, I think this is how it needs to fold for these circumstances for Red Bull Stratos, for example.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where we didn't know.